Alright, hey guys, Pax, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, we'll be going over Hoopa EX. Look at this Jin. This guy's basically the devil. You're about to make a deal with the devil. Bro is about to offer you riches and just fuck up your soul. If you've ever seen Obsession, this guy's basically the wishing stick that caused the whole plot of the story. He's about to mess up your life in more ways than you can count. But yeah, this is Hoopa EX right here. HP 150, basic of course. Has 2 attacks. First attack is Shadow Bullet, requires 1 Darkness Energy, does 30 damage. This attack also does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Second attack is Dynamite Punch, requires 3 energy, 2 darkness, 1 colorless. Does 100 damage. This Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself and has a retreat cost of 2, weakness is grass. So yeah, you kind of see how this card is designed heavily on chip. I feel like for the most part, you'll be using Shadow Bullet a lot more than Dynamite Punch, of course. There's gonna be some matches where you won't even use the second attack. But yeah, this is a deck right here. I'll show you yet again towards the end of the video. And in regards to the 2D pattern code, this is it right here. It's also in the top left, as you can see. I'll explain all the card choices later on in this video. But yeah, if you guys are new to my channel, really would appreciate if you like and subscribe. Really does help me out, especially as a small-time content creator. And without further ado, let's get right into the deck showcase. Alright, here we are in our first battle. We are going first up against the Typhlosion EX solo deck, leading with Hoopa. Ideally for this deck, you want to lead with Hoopa. Usually going second is the best just to maximize damage, but not too bad. We got Rare Candy as well. So next turn, we can get Greninja out and start doing a ton of damage. We'll place a second copy of Hoopa, but I want to save this last slot for our second copy of Greninja, just maximizing damage. That's ideally how you want to play this deck. So start with Hoopa, Sableye in your bench, 2 Froakies, eventually evolve into 2 Greninjas. But just like this, be very aggressive. So feed Hoopa. As you can see, of course, Hoopa has 2 attacks. Usually, you only want to feed Hoopa 1 energy. It's much more beneficial to feed your bench, so like your Sableye or even a second copy of Hoopa in the bench. Depending on how fast-paced the battle is, Hoopa will only be surviving for like 2 to 3 turns, so not really worth feeding the one into active, evolving into Greninja. Chip in Cyndaquil. Attack, very straightforward. Next turn, we can one-shot Cyndaquil if they don't evolve. Alright, here we go. Opponent evolves into Typhlosion. Quilava as well. Typhlosion is doing 110 damage, keeping our energy as well, which is perfect. At this point, very straightforward. We got Deceptive Needle, a new Poketool. As you can see at the end of your turn, if the Darkness Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, do 10 damage to your opponent's actives. At this point, of course, feed Sableye, setting up for next turn. Target Typhlosion, Shadow Bullet, and just like this, Typhlosion should get knocked out next turn. Sableye paired with Greninja, we are doing 100 damage on the board. 110 if we get another needle. Okay, GG, very straightforward. Once again, first battle from our deck showcases isn't really meant to be too hard, more so just to get the feel for the deck. So don't even have to Water Shuriken. If anything, Quilava, I'm just gonna slightly tap you right here, taking the win just like that. Also, you gotta love this Hoopa art. Whoever made this, Yano Keiji, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, you definitely cook with this. This guy, imagine this is the last thing you see before you die. That's definitely the same vibe. This guy as well, right before he bashes you with his huge gem, whatever that is, his cursed jewel. But just like this, taking the win. And with that being said, we should see how this deck performs in PvP. Alright, here we are in PvP battle, going second, leading with Sableye, which is not too good, but we do have small air balloon. Main issue is opponent is leading with him on top, so able to chip Sableye in the bench. Pokeball, please give me a Hoopa, perfect. So right now we can be super aggressive. Small balloon, Sableye, Copycat. Not too bad. We got Hiking Trail, so we can just play like this. Retreat out of Sableye. Deceptive Needle as well, so this turn we are doing a combined total of 60 damage. Opponent is running routes, so most likely Mega Gallade Ex. Targeting routes just like this. Opponent Sabrina's. Are they gonna Field Blower? I don't get that purpose. I have small air balloon. Okay, they Sabrina. Cool. Kind of a waste. I mean, him on top does 20 damage regardless, so if they had a non-X Lucario, that made sense, but if they don't, which in this case they didn't, Hoopa, get back in there. Alright, honestly at this point, I'm just gonna attach energy onto Hoopa, attack. Might have messed up here, I'll be honest. I forgot to attach Deceptive Needle. These things do happen, so him on top will be surviving with 10 HP, but it should be fine. Next turn, we can still one-shot routes, and if need be, Hoopa can do 100 damage. This is pretty rough. I respect my opponent trying to run Mega Gallade EX, but I mean, I don't think him on top's a good pairing per se. In my opinion, it's just way too slow. At this point, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah. Feed, Sableye. Next turn, we can get Greninja out and attack in. But for now, might as well just take out routes, making sure that they can't get out Mega Gallade Ex. Next turn, Greninja is out. Opponent concedes. Yeah, that was very rough on their part. But yeah, as you can see, Hoopa is very menacing towards the early game. The chip damage definitely adds up over time. Next battle, once again, going second. Leading with Froakie, which is not too ideal. Hopefully we can pull a small balloon. Mega Rayquaza EX is out. Oh gosh. You got Drampa, as well as Gouging Fire. Alright, a lot of cards on my opponent's side of the field. They've also placed a Dratini, Rainbow Cave as well. Why not? Rainbow Cave for good luck. Not really serving us much purpose, but just for fun, you know? Professor's Research, we got Froakie and Greninja. No small balloon, but we can definitely work with this. So for one thing, subbing into Hoopa and attack with Froakie. Next turn, we can sub into Hoopa, evolve into Greninja, and start chipping this Mega Rayquaza EX. That is crazy as well. Gouging Fire needs at least one fire type energy to attack. Opponent just discarded Lightning. This turn they have Lightning, next turn they have Lightning as well. Okay, alright, not too bad. Next turn, Gouging Fire might be able to attack, but for now, evolving into Greninja. Very promising. Pokeball, please give me Mega Absol, or not Absol, Sableye. Get this too confused. You could also, speaking of which, you can also run Absol for this, but personally, I much prefer Sableye because of this damage. After getting attacked, your opponent's active Pokemon takes 40 damage. Just fitting with the whole chip meta. I'm just gonna hard target the Rayquaza pretty much. Let's play like this. Shadow Bullet. Attacking yet again. That is crazy work. Their next energy is Lightning. They have yet to get a fire type energy. They PC Lady, Rayquaza. Subbing into Drampa. Okay, makes sense. So Drampa can attack this turn. It will take Drampa 3 more turns to one-shot this, whatever this is. This Jin Pokemon. Hiking Trail. Next energy is fire type, so that will definitely benefit Rayquaza. Next turn, Rayquaza can attack. So for now, just keep on chipping this Mega Dragon. Beating Sableye, Shadow Bullet, attack. Very straightforward stuff. This will be nice if you can get Cyrus next turn, hopefully. All right, Hoopa on the brink of death. Hiking Trail does benefit them, which is pretty rough. I'm a Field Blower. Why not do that? We have 4 cards left. We'll be getting 1 card after this turn because of Hiking Trail. So for now, just keep on chipping Rayquaza. If I Water Shuriken Drampa, I could have taken it out, but just to apply a bit more pressure, I'm just going to do this. If anything, next turn, I can Water Shuriken Drampa to knock it out. So ultimately, this should be fine. Rayquaza's down to 90 HP, and we pull Cyrus. Okay, they Copycat. A very desperate Copycat. They have 2 cards left in their hand. They use 1 PC Lady. Do they have a lucky Ice Pop? So they fed Rayquaza, attacks with Drampa, rest in peace Hoopa. But Sableye coming out. We pulled Win Condition Cyrus. This would be overkill if we can pull a Greninja, which we do. Okay, so who is bro subbing in? If I were them, I would maybe sub in Gouging Fire. Yeah, that's what they do. It doesn't matter because we got Win Condition Cyrus. Let's do this. Cyrus and GG. Just like that. That's basically how I want to play this deck. Just chip your opponent's bench. If they have a Mega, just hard focus that Mega and take the win just like that. Our next battle, going first, up against Oricorio. So this is going to be a sweaty battle. We can still win, but it's going to be very hard to do so, especially since we are running full Darkness type. Pokeball, please give me something good. We got Hoopa, okay. Keep in mind, Hoopa itself can't do damage to Oricorio, but Deceptive Needle can. For now, just chill like this. Yes, end our turn. Next turn, we can evolve into Greninja. This will be absolutely amazing if you can pull a Copycat. That's rough. Pulling a Sableye, might as well place it down. Opponent's leading with Oricorio. But yeah, just do this. Shouldn't matter too much in the long run, so be Rare Candy. Greninja is out. This turn, we are doing 30 damage on to Oricorio. So yeah, Water Shuriken. And end our turn. Just like that, 30. It'll take us 2 more turns until we can knock out Oricorio. This actually might be a 19 trainer Oricorio deck. Oh gosh. All we could do is this. Yeah, Water Shuriken. If you want, you could run Dual Type for this deck, but ultimately, I feel like it's more consistent to run Pure Darkness. So yeah, it's attack for fun, Shadow Bullet, not doing any damage. Oricorio's down to 10 HP. Concedes. That actually might have been a 19 trainer. 19 trainer Oricorio deck. That's actually crazy. But as you can see, even with Oricorio, you can still win with this deck. Granted, if it was 2 Oricorios, you might have been in trouble. Especially if they started pulling shit like Lucky Ice Pop, PC Lady, stuff to heal that Nightmare Bird. But still able to stand a chance. Our next battle, leading with Hoopa yet again. Opponent's running Teal Mask Ogerpon, which definitely works for us. Keep in mind, Deceptive Needle is in a stats condition, so it'll still do damage to Ogerpon. Okay, looking very promising. Only now is a rare candy and we're pretty much cooking. Not too good. Opponent subs into Combi. Keep in mind, we are at a disadvantage here because, of course, Hoopa, both Hoopa and Mega Sableye EX are weak to Grass type. So there's a high chance that Hoopa will get one shot in the next turn. Hiking Trail, please help us out. Give us something that could win the game. This is pretty rough. If we were able to pull a rare candy, we could have one-shotted Combi, getting a huge lead against my opponent. But for now, we are at the mercy of the harder cards. Please, harder cards. If my opponent has Vespiquen EX, then we're pretty much screwed. Vespiquen EX does 130 damage around the board. For now, I'm just going to target Combi just like this. This guy will be surviving with 10 HP. So I'm either going to win or lose in like 2 turns, depending on what happens right now. Shaman, okay. And Vespiquen. That's rough. Yeah, Hoopa is not granting wishes today. 2 Vespiquens. That's not the bees, please. Anything but not the bees. That is Hoopa's worst nightmare. Okay. Ogerpon was like, yeah, I'm gonna head out. Looks like an easy cleanup on your end, Vespiquen. Hey, we got another Hoopa. Another sacrificial lamb for Vespiquen. Why not? Let's do this. Look at this. Big brain strats right here. I'm gonna Hiking Trail. Never let your opponent know your next move. So Hiking Trail, Field Blower, just like that. No more trails. No more hiking today. Copycat, charging it up. I'm gonna get Greninja and Rare Candy. Watch. Close enough. Damn, we got 2 Froakies. We got an audience to watch Hoopa get absolutely massacred, which is why instead of Deceptive Needle, you very much can run Giant Cape. But yeah, I feel like Vespiquen, in a sense, hard counters Hoopa. I might have been able to win if I pulled a rare candy. Vespiquen, go easy on Hoopa, please. I love that animation. It's just silence, and then Kartana being like, yeah, I'm gonna head out. Just like that, taking the loss. Rest in peace, Hoopa. I'm gonna do one more battle. Alright, last battle going first. A very promising hand. Once again, most likely going up against a Mega Rayquaza EX deck. Opponent leading with Gouging Fire. Small air balloon. Actually, first of all, Pokeball. Please give me another Hoopa. Could be better, but we can definitely roll with this. But yeah, for now, small air balloon. Once again, Rainbow Cave just for fun. Also, Field Blower, screw you. You're not maximizing your energy. Yeah, for now, I'm just gonna chill like this. Once again, saving my 2 slots for a second copy of Froakie and Mega Sableye. Opponent Lucky Ice Pops. Getting Tails, so only doing 10 damage onto Gouging Fire. Placing down Dratini. And Protective Poncho, which could be very annoying, but nevertheless, we should be able to do a ton of damage. Opponent still hasn't gotten Mega Rayquaza out, and they Protective Poncho Dratini instead of Mega Rayquaza. Okay, yeah, for now we're just gonna do this. Feed Hoopa. Water Shuriken, not Dratini, of course, targeting Gouging Fire. Next turn, Gouging Fire should get knocked out, and Hoopa should be fully built. Opponent places a second copy of Gouging Fire, retreats. They're getting very unlucky, not able to get out Dragonair, because if they did, Gouging Fire could have attacked Hoopa. But this is not too bad, so let's do this. Water Shuriken. Just making sure my opponent can't do anything, pretty much. This feels like bullying. Keep in mind, after attacking, doing 100, you do take 20 damage of recoil, which isn't too much. Definitely not too much, but can definitely still hinder you, because looking at the deck, keep in mind this deck has no healing. If you want, instead of Hiking Trail or a card like that, you could replace it with Lucky Ice Pop. Opponent Rainbow Caves, which doesn't really help them too much at this point. But Rayquaza is out. Very scary. Concedes. Okay. Yeah. Scared me for a second, but even then they couldn't really do much. But yes, you can see Hoopa very dominant towards the early game. That's ideally how you want to play it. Dominate your opponent. Make sure they can't build either their active or their bench, and ultimately win the game. And yeah, that is the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you found this video informative as well as a bit entertaining. I tried to be. Overall, Hoopa fits perfectly in the Darkness archetype. I feel like Darkness requires heavily on chip as well as disruption, just looking at cards such as Darkrai EX, Mega Sableye, Mega Absol, and even non-EX Darkrai. Requires heavily on-chipping your opponent's Pokemon, either that or disrupting them. So yeah, in my opinion, Hoopa fits perfectly. Personally, part of me still prefers Zoroark EX over Hoopa. Because one thing about this deck is that it's very slow for the most part. You're not really doing any like burst damage, more so just damage over time, which is good, but at the same time, part of me still prefers Zoroark. Just do that bit more damage, doing potentially 90, which of course could help with outspeeding your opponent. But yeah, not too bad of a card nevertheless. Overall, I'd rate this deck A tier. I think it's solid A tier. I can definitely see this being very prominent in tournaments as well as in ranked. Instead of Sableye, you could very much run either Mega Absol or even Darkrai EX. Darkrai EX to do a bit more chip damage. But again, as I mentioned before, I prefer Sableye just to chip your opponent a bit more. It also requires only 2 energy to attack, unlike Darkrai EX, which requires 3. So you can get this guy out far faster than Darkrai. But yeah, that's the video once again. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Got a few more deck showcases planned, so please stay tuned. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.